Distinguished guests and friends, the Trickle Out team, myself, David, and the others that aren't here tonight would like to welcome you to the launch of Trickle Out Africa. Thank you for taking the time out to come here this evening and share this event amongst friends, both old and hopefully new. Trickle Out focuses on the role that social and environmental enterprises might play in poverty alleviation and sustainable development. We're incredibly fortunate that some of the amazing business people who have listed in the Trickle Out directory are here with us tonight, along with some of the NGOs, government departments and others who support them. I urge you to meet them during this reception and to take this opportunity to meet new friends who are interested in enterprises whose mission is to not only survive financially, perhaps even with a profit, but to address the social and environmental problems that we face in Kenyan society today. This directory, which is constantly growing, offers the opportunity to promote these organisations locally, regionally and internationally. We hope that you will also encourage everyone that you know who might be eligible to register into this directory. This directory is free to register, free to search, and provides the information enterprises have submitted on their contact details and the type of businesses they are to anyone who wants to find them. As this project progresses, we will publish a series of very detailed case studies on some of these organisations, identifying the trickle-out benefits that they produce in their communities and further afield. We have a number of these case study organisations with us tonight, and we are very grateful for the access they are granting to us to explore how they do business. We're also very fortunate to have representatives of our partners here in Kenya with us. In particular, we would like to mention the British Institute of East Africa, the East African Social Enterprise Network, and the British Council. On a personal level, I'm incredibly honoured to be able to work on this project and grateful to the UK Economic and Social Research Council for their funding support, alongside the support of my institution, Queen's University Belfast in Northern Ireland. I first came to the African continent in the early 1990s as a young, somewhat reckless graduate, hitchhiking across Zambia, Malawi and Zimbabwe. Much older and hopefully wiser, and no longer quite so keen on sleeping on the ground in a tent, I no longer hitchhike. But I have been fortunate to spend lots of time here in Kenya and East Africa over the last 14 years, travelling around and meeting many of the amazing entrepreneurial people that make up this vibrant and dynamic economy. We hope that in some small way, our project will help showcase the innovative, homegrown, truly transformative business models that form the bedrock of modern Kenya and other countries in Eastern and Southern Africa. We hope that Trickle Out helps us to understand more about the potential benefits that these businesses and the relationships they form. In addition, we hope that it offers a way for customers, potential partners, potential donors and civil society to find and to learn more about these organisations. At this point, I would like now to invite our honoured guest, Alison Coots, the Director of the British Council here in Kenya, to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Diane, and welcome to the British Council. It's really good to see all of you here, especially on a midday week when traffic's sometimes bad in Nairobi, though I think not quite so bad at the moment. Anyway, I was really pleased when Diane asked the British Council to host this. It's a project that will be of enormous relevance, I think, to Africa and the UK, and is one of the many initiatives which shows how strong the relationship between the UK and Africa is, particularly Kenya, I think. The links go back a long way. And the relationship between the two countries is very, very important. It's constantly changing, and nowhere more so than here. This is reflected, and I'm just going to say a little bit about that relationship because the British Council is so deeply involved in it. I mean, it's very much reflected by the huge amount of contact, both professional and personal, between the two countries. Many types of organisations are involved in the relationship. On the UK side, you've got the High Commission next door, which is committed to building our political and economic relationship with Kenya. DFID funds a substantial development programme with a focus on various areas, including getting more children into school in the poorest areas, improving maternal and reproductive health, and accelerating progress in fighting malaria, in creating more jobs for young people, in developing safety nets for the most disadvantaged, promoting stability and strengthening accountability. And they're spending an average of £128 million per year in Kenya over the next few years. It's huge. But it shows the commitment. And again, to have the British public funding being used like that is really a good commitment. And then there's a range of relationships being built up in education, culture, citizenship, etc., through NGOs, companies, educational institutions, and numerous individuals. The Trickle Down Project is one of these initiatives, and a very important one, and I'll come back to that in a minute. And the British Council, I hope, is another, and I'll say a few words about our role and our interest in this project. The purpose of the British Council, as I think many of you will know, because a few of you have worked with us before, is to create international opportunities for the people of the UK and other countries, in this case Kenya, and build trust between them worldwide. We're present in more than 100 countries worldwide and about 20 in sub-Saharan Africa. We're not political at all. We happen to be located next door, but we're a different organisation. We're not a donor agency either. we're all about that relationship with the UK. We work in education, culture and society, bringing people together to share experience, develop themselves through access to opportunities on a global scale, enabling understanding of each other's cultures and the building of that trust, which precedes, of course, economic trade links and all the rest of it. I just wanted to give you a few examples. In education, we have a very big school links program through which we link African schools with schools in the UK. And through them, we do professional development of teachers in both countries. We do a range of content and projects that influence curriculum and enable children and teachers to understand and learn from each other's experience, as well as their place in the world as global citizens. In higher education, perhaps more relevant tonight, we have for a long time been one of the links between UK institutions of higher learning and the host country, here again Kenya. Where we can, we advise UK institutions how to connect and make partnerships with African universities. We run a link scheme ourselves, which is called Delphi. It's funded by DFID actually, but we won the management contract for it. And it funds partnerships between universities in the UK and in Africa, including Kenya. And they focus on capacity development in various subject areas. We've also introduced the Knowledge Transfer Partnership Scheme to Kenya. It's a very well known one in the UK. And through this, links are set up between universities and business. And obviously the aim there is to have a strong exchange of knowledge on what the market needs are and what universities need to focus on to ensure their graduates are employable. And here we've been working with the National Council of Science and Technology, who are now starting funding links themselves and hope to build up that program in Kenya. And we manage the prestigious Achievement Scholarship Scheme, which many of you will know. There's about 12 places a year for some of the rising Kenyans. And just for interest, there are about 3,000 Kenyan university students studying in the UK at any one time at the moment. That's the average sort of figure. We also have a new idea which we're bringing on stream in higher education over the next year. And what we're doing after consultation with various stakeholders here in the UK is we're planning a series of policy dialogues, discussions, bringing together very influential educationalists in the UK, Kenya, and about 2 or 3 other countries in sub-Saharan Africa to focus on specific areas and come up for recommendations of interest in those areas. So areas that are of common interest, whether it's how education is funded, whether it's access, whether it's quality, whatever those issues are. All the discussions and recommendations will be supported by evidence-based research. So again, it's a good model for building up policy based on real evidence. We've already done some research on the higher education sector in 7 countries in sub-Saharan Africa to inform the project. Excuse me. And we've got a local advisory group working out with us which areas we should continue to develop in partnership. In culture, our focus is on working with artists on business management and leadership skills. Artists are brilliant creatively, but not always as good at running a business. And through this sort of skills development, we are helping, we hope, them to become viable businesses, build up the creative sector industry here, and contribute to the economy, as well as in the UK, because then they will start having more creative and commercial links with our UK creators at the same time. In fact, much of our work is with young entrepreneurs in different areas, which is one, along with our higher education work, some of the many reasons we are interested in the Trickle Out project. So to come on to that, Dr. Holt has mentioned the Economic Social Research Council, ESRC, and I'd like to give them their well-deserved appreciation. It's the UK's largest organisation for funding research on economic and social issues, and it's just fantastic that they've given support to this initiative, I think. Again, showing how important Africa is to the UK and its contribution to global research issues. Again, the UK is really interested in that. And then to come to the Trickle Out Africa project, well, Diane's described it, and so I won't say too much more about the detail. You can talk to her and David, her colleague, tonight. But from the Council's view, mine personally, it's a wonderful initiative. Putting together a directory of all the social and environmental enterprises, or at least as many as they can find, will be enormously valuable and should build up innovation and enterprise, not just within Kenya and other countries, but across them as well, regionally and with wider, further afield. This can only be a good thing and should provide jobs and opportunities. Queen's University Belfast also deserves a mention. It's the host of this project and again demonstrates a long-established interest by UK universities in Africa and in doing research with Africa. So the whole thing's all to our benefit, so it's great for us to be able to play just even a small part, such as hosting the reception, but it's a privilege to do so. So I wish all involved every success and look forward to seeing the results. And thank you again to Diane and to David, to Jambi Wanjiru, who've been organising it, and to all of you for coming tonight. Thank you very much.
As we close this stage of the proceedings, Diane and I would like to invite you all to mingle and to network, hopefully making new friends as you share some refreshments. We would like to thank our partners, the British Council, the East Africa Social Enterprise Network, and also the British Institute in East Africa for their support with this event. We'd also like to thank the team at Impact by Design, who've done such a fantastic job in arranging this event. And finally, we'd also like to thank you all for coming and to wish you a happy holidays. On behalf of the Trickle Out team and Queen's University Belfast, we would like to present a small token of our appreciation to our honoured guest Alison for hosting this event and for providing this opportunity for us to all meet here tonight.
Okay, well, Trickle Out Africa is a two-stage project. The first stage is that it develops a directory of social and environmental enterprises across southern and eastern Africa. That's the 19 countries of SADC and Eastern African Community. And in the second stage, what we do is we go and look at a range of these organisations in much more in-depth case study research across 3 countries, Zambia, Kenya and South Africa, to look at what the trickle-out benefits of the organisation are into the community. So the idea is to try and map some of the impacts that they actually have, not just immediately but out into their value chains. So the idea is to try and, I suppose, learn more about this particular sector in southern and eastern Africa. And in particular, there is an argument that we should be focusing on social and environmental enterprises as a way to develop sustainably in Africa. So in order to do that, we need to know about them. And at the moment, there is not one single place where you can go where these organisations are profiled. So the directory is essentially like a big telephone book. That's all it is at the moment. It's, you know, you go onto the website and you can search it, and you can do it by country or by topic. And when you click up will come a list of organisations, and they are the ones that have verified. That means they've confirmed their details. And when you click on them, will come up where they are, contact details, etc. So it helps organisations find them, it helps customers find them, potential donors to find them, and it helps to raise their profile. In particular, many of the smaller organisations don't have their own individual website. So this is one way that they have a platform outside the region in which they are based. And then the case studies themselves obviously are looking more specifically at what the kinds of benefits are. So there's 2 aspects to this. The first is a practical aspect of the directory. The second is, I suppose, is a more research, evidence-led research side of things for the case studies.
How long is the research study, and how many enterprises that you hope to come to the directory?
Okay. Well, the project is 26 months, so we're about 7 months in. So at the moment we have about 230 what we call verified, which means that we've posted their verified directory details. They've been in touch with us, confirmed aspects around them, including some additional research questions around their startup size, etc. Then we also have currently somewhere in the region of 2,000 that we know lots about, which we're also going to post online. But we also have about another 2,000 that we have much less details on. And then what we intend to do is, for some of them, we'll be calling them up to actually confirm the details. So longer term, we would like to see this directory be 5,000 plus organisations. But at that point, it will be a mixture between those that have confirmed, i.e. the verified, and the ones that we found something on. And we're putting that information online because we think it's important to do so, and that that information is available.